To Franklin D. Roosevelt, the foundation of every state is the education of its youth. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. Good day, Philippines, and welcome to the Info Talk Show. This is your host, Mrs. Julie Marie Cabilitasan. I can feel the excitement for today's topic to be shared to us by our special guests. Before we start, let me give you an overview of today's topic. The current system of education in the Philippines, in the brink of extinction, for a new education system is being proposed. The existing system of 6 years in elementary and 4 years in secondary before entering tertiary is being challenged. In fact, a major reform in the education system is on the horizon, and this shall radically change the way Filipinos are educated. Many queries arise because of the new system. Students, parents, and even educators doubt the effectiveness of the K-12. Contrarily, the DepEd does not want to be stopped and is determined to pursue the program. With the help of our special guest, they will discuss to us about the system of education here in the Philippines, from kindergarten up to postgraduate. Let me introduce to you our first guest. Representative coming from the Department of Education, DepEd Region 6, spokesperson, Mr. Andres Cagbay. Another special guest, newly appointed Commissioner of the Commission of Higher Education, Region 6, no other than Dr. Maria Lodi Kaliliman. And last but not the least, representative from the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, TESDA Region 6. We have Mrs. Ronalyn Cabanyero. Let's give them a virtual applause. Welcome to the Info Talk Show, Mr. Andres Cagbay, Dr. Maria Lodi Kaliliman, and Mrs. Ronalyn Cabanyero. Thank you for being with us today. It is a great privilege to meet you all in my show, the Info Talk Show. First question for our DepEd spokesperson, Mr. Andres Cagbay. Tell us about...
Good morning, ma'am. The K-12 basic education for K-12 was introduced into primary and secondary education in phases from 2011. The K in the K-12 stands for kindergarten, and the 12 stands for the 12 years of basic education. K-12 has 3 levels. Kinder 1, 1 year. Elementary education, grade 1 to grade 6, 6 years. Secondary education, junior high school, grade 7 to 10 is equivalent to 4 years. Senior high school, grade 11 to 12, equivalent to 2 years. The senior high school is 2 years of specialized upper secondary education. Students may choose a specialized based on aptitude. The choice of career track student will take in grade 11 and 12. Each student in high school or senior high school can choose among the tracks. First, we have academic. 2 or second, technical vocational livelihood. Third, sports track. Fourth, arts and design track.
Why are we implementing the 13 years of basic education?
This is one of the Pinoy 10-point of agenda on education. 12-year basic education cycle, meaning expand basic education in this country from short 10 years to a globally comparable 12 years. The Philippines is the last in Asia and one of the only three countries worldwide with 10 years pre-university cycle. The two countries are Angola and Djibouti. Is found to be the best period for learning under basic education. It is also the recognized standards for students and professionals globally.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another question is why we need to push for K-12 basic education program?
So here are the following reasons we need to implement K-12 basic education program. First, the K-12 program offers a decongested 12-year program that gives students time to master skills and absorb basic competencies. Second, students of the new education system will graduate at the age of 18 and be ready for employment, entrepreneurship, middle-level skills development, and higher education upon graduation. Third, the K-12 program accelerates and professionals in other countries. Fourth, kindergarten is mandatory for admission to grade 1. And last, the new curriculum gives the students the chance to choose among the 4 tracks: the academic, the tech walk, sports, and arts, on which provides relevant exposure and actual experience in their chosen track.
Thank you so much, sir. Next question will be given to our TESDA representative, Ma'am Ronaline Caballero. In order to create the globally competitive citizen, one should undergo trainings, specifically vocational trainings. So tell us about the TVET, or the Technical Vocational Education and Training.
Thank you, ma'am. It is designed to train the Philippine labor force and prepare graduates for medium-skilled employment in various vocations, ranging from agriculture to automotive technology, bookkeeping, business services, computer maintenance, information technology, health services, cookery, tourism and hospitality services, carpentry, seafaring, housekeeping, web design, or teaching ESL. So it is supervised by the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or the TESDA. So the TESDA here oversees the TVET providers, both public and private, and acts as a regulatory body, setting training standards, curricula, and testing requirements for vocational programs. The TVET competency-based, where training programs are often modularized and self-paced. So, the Philippine Qualification Framework specifies 5 levels of TVET qualifications. The National Certificate, or the NC1, and the NC2 are placed at the secondary level, and certificates can be earned at the end of grade 10 or grade 12. The NC3, the NC4, and diploma are post-secondary qualifications at level 3 to 5 of the PQF programs. Leading to these types of qualifications generally require prior NCs or a high school diploma for admission and involve training at progressive levels of complexity.
So, ma'am, how will K-12 help in ensuring employment for our graduates?
K-12 basic education curriculum will be sufficient to prepare students for work. Second, the curriculum will enable students to acquire certificates of competencies, or the COCs, and the national certificates. This will be in accordance with the training regulations of the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or the TESDA. And this will allow graduates to have middle-level skills and will offer them better opportunities to be gainfully employed or become entrepreneurs. Next, there will be the School Industry Partnership for technical vocational courses to allow students to gain work experience while studying and opportunity to be absorbed by the companies.
Thank you so much for your insights and sharing your ideas. Now, let's go to our next guest, our newly appointed Commissioner of the Commission of Higher Education, Ma'am, Dr. Lodi Calaliman. What is the role of CHED in the accreditation of HEI?
Good morning, everyone. So, for the question, what is the role of CHED? Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, has far-reaching authority over higher education institutions, including private institutions. It can authorize the establishment or closure of private higher education institutions, as well as determine their tuition fees and degree programs. Private higher education institutions are required to seek permission for their degree programs and to graduate students from these programs. Private institutions that have received this permission are authorized to display a Special Order Number, or SON, on their academic records. The SON pertains to a specific credential awarded on a certain date and needs to be requested on a continual basis for batches of graduates. However, CHED can exempt higher education institutions from the requirement to request SONs by declaring them autonomous or deregulated institutions, a designation that is granted for 5-year periods and reserved for reputable high-quality institutions. Autonomous institutions have the freedom to establish new degree programs and design their own curricula, whereas deregulated institutions still need to request permission for new degree programs but are exempt from the special order requirement.
Another question, Ma'am. What are the stages of higher education in the Philippines?
So there are different stages of higher education in the Philippines. First, we have bachelor's degree. So that lasts up to 4 years in length. So typically, these bachelor's degree are what we call the Bachelor of Science and the Bachelor of Arts. Bachelor programs in professional disciplines like engineering and architecture typically last for 5 years in length and have higher credit requirements. And then after bachelor's degree, we have the next stage or the next degree, which is called the master's degree. So master's program require a bachelor's degree for admission. Programs are typically 2 years in length. So depending on the discipline, master's program may include a thesis or to be offered a non-thesis programs. With non-thesis programs, usually requiring a higher number of credits and passing of a comprehensive examination. And lastly, after master's, we have that what you call the degree, which is the doctoral degree. So doctoral degree is the highest degree in the Philippine education system. Doctoral programs require a master's degree for admission and typically involve coursework and dissertation. So the most commonly awarded credential is the Doctor of Philosophy. In addition, there are professional doctorates such as the Doctor of or Doctor Technology or the Doctor of Education. So most programs have a minimum length of 3 years, but students often take much longer to complete the program. So that's all, Ma'am Jolie.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am. Pero one last question, Ma'am, Dr. Lodi Calaliman. With the implementation of the K to 12, what do you think is the impact of the K to 12 program on the higher education sector?
Okay. So the new K to 12 curriculum and basic education will inevitably impact higher education in the Philippines on two important fronts. First, the curriculum and the people working in the higher education sector. So here it is. First, K to 12 makes it necessary to adjust the college curriculum to make sure that college subjects build upon in the best way. And then second one, K to 12 impacts those working in the higher education sector. As senior high school is rolled out nationwide this 2016, students go through 2 more years of high school instead of going straight to college, resulting in low enrollment in colleges and universities nationwide.
Well said, Mom. Again, let's go back to our DepEd spokesperson. Last question. What are the benefits of the K to 12 to individuals and families?
So
Sir?
here are the benefits of K to 12 to individuals and families. First, enhanced curriculum will decongest academic workload, giving students more time to master competencies and time for extracurricular activities, thus allowing for their more holistic development. Graduates will possess competencies and skills relevant to the job market. Filipino graduates could be recognized abroad. For Filipino graduates, for example, the engineers, architects, doctors could now be recognized as professionals in other countries. Graduates will be able to earn higher wages or better prepared to start their own business. Studies in the Philippines have shown that an additional year of schooling increases earnings by 7.5%. K to 12 will contribute to economic growth. Several studies have shown that the improvements in the quality of education will increase GDP growth by as much as 2%. And last, a better educated society provides a sound foundation for a long-term society or socio-economic development.
Well said. So thank you so much for all of you constructive explanations, and I'm sure that our televiewers have learned a lot from you regarding our education system here in the Philippines. Thank you, Mom and Sir. There is no harm on a society prioritizing on the education of its people, for education is one of the essential of an effective society. The problem is visible, the solution is available, and the only thing needed is action. Again, thank you so much for our special guest for joining us, and we have learned a lot from you today. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same station on the Info Talk. I'm your host, Julie. Good day, everyone. God bless and be safe.